As I said, at S4, our differentiator is M-PACT Learning. And some of you have seen this before, but generally, when you compare the two, and we still see lots of companies, whether it's complex stuff like you guys face in life sciences, we do work with outside of medical, with large companies, global companies, they're still doing a more traditional approach. It's content-based, it's a singular event, focuses on the trainer. The real issue with the traditional approach is it promotes memorization of facts. Page turner is a traditional e-learning module. Read, take a test. Jim got 85, can move to the next level. That's not going to meet your business goals. That's not going to give you a competitive advantage. M-PACT Learning, our methodology is problem-based. Give them problems to solve. Give them the content needed. Let them collaborate. Focus the design on the learner, not necessarily the trainer. And the result of that is the ability to actually apply knowledge in the field rather than simply memorizing things for a test. And again, some of you have seen this, but it's a really good example of what we mean by this. So this is an example of a global company that focuses on things like prescription lenses. They do software for optical surgery, et cetera. And they gave us a project where they wanted us to train associates working in an optometrist office how the eye functions. They wanted everybody in there, whether you were a doctor or not, to have some sense of nearsighted, farsighted. These were millennials. And the other interesting thing they wanted us to do was try to repurpose the training to use with the patient. So what they had done previously is what we consider traditional. It was a page turner, had audio over top of it. 40 slides, 50 minutes. Millennials hated it. You're not going to spend that amount of time to try to discuss with a patient what the refractive disorder is. So we took all that content they gave us, and we turned it into a 7.5-minute micromod. So we went from 40 slides, 50 minutes, 7.5-minute micromod, and it starts with this interactive eye model. And what you'll notice that we didn't start with, which is done traditionally, there's 5 objectives to this module. The first objective is to understand what we have discovered in our 22 plus years. They don't remember that. It's called law of readiness in the M-PACT Learning. Let's have them do something immediately and get them ready to learn. So this is simply an interactive eye model, anatomy, and this window we created called vision scope, which changes dynamically. Let me show you this. There's the normal eye. You can see near and far. If I go over to myopia, which is nearsighted, you can see the cornea is way too steep in that particular patient's situation. And in vision scope, you can see the patient can see near, but not far. So that's nearsightedness.
Myopia can be caused by a...
Back to normal. How about hyperopia? Flat cornea, farsightedness. Again, you can see the cornea is way too flat. And vision scope shows you that they can see far, but not near. Thus, farsightedness.
Hyperopia can be caused by a flatter than normal cornea. When the cornea is...
Now, I understand that's not necessarily your content, but what I want to show you there is our ability to take very traditional stuff and not only make it better, but shorter. 40 slides, 50 minutes, turned it into a 7.5-minute micromod. The problem-based learning comes in next. I didn't want to spend a lot of time there, where we say you're the optometrist, diagnose some patients, added some gaming because they were millennials, try to diagnose in the least amount of tries, and we're going to put a counter in there. Would you like a hint before you diagnose? Oh, I'd love a hint. So they were self-remediating. 7.5 minutes, learning more than 50. And the eye model we created at the beginning could be used with a patient to show that refractive disorder in 15 seconds.